Hey guys, it's Laurel. Today is Saturday, July 26th, and this is FLOSSTUBE number 61. It's been a few weeks since I've done a video. I actually was not planning on doing a video today, and last minute I just decided I missed y'all and I wanted to spend a little time with you. So if you're a new viewer, thank you for searching out and finding me. Hope you like what you see, and if you're a returning subscriber, thank you, and I missed you. So I don't even know that I have everything I worked on. I might show you something I showed you in the last video. I'm very unorganized. This is my book of days that I don't necessarily plan out of my book of days, but I do try to keep track of what I've done. Now I have stitched every day. I haven't written anything down. So I didn't have a reference, and it's been 3 weeks. So I'm like, well, maybe I worked on something I'm not going to show and there'll be a surprise later. I don't know. I did, look, I've been putting these Post-its in my book of days to remind me of stuff I might want to do that month. I did, the two things on my sticker for this month were Salute to Abigail, which I have been working on, and Patriotic Shaker box by... Is it Scarlet House? I don't know. You know what I'm talking about, the Patriotic Shaker box. But I want to do the shaker box eventually. But what I wanted to do, there's a little pillow that has a house or some houses with patriotic roofing. I wanted to do that, but I haven't gotten it out. So plans are just plans, right? Sometimes you get through it and sometimes you don't. I have had a good time over the last few weeks. I've been very busy. Not a lot to show for how busy I've been, but life has just been busy. This morning, I was like, the reason I wasn't going to do a video is because I needed to clean my house up because it's bad. It's just so bad. So I got in there and cleaned up a little bit, and then I came in here in the sewing room and cleaned up a little bit, finished up a project bag for a friend, and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do a video real fast because I thought originally I would do it tomorrow, but I don't think there will be time tomorrow. Have an exciting week coming up. My daughter is going to graduate the LPM program Tuesday, so she's very excited. So we'll go to her pinning Tuesday, and I'm super excited for that and super proud of her. Very excited. Hubby's out there playing a video game, watching TV, or the TV's watching him, or any combination of those things. The dogs are out there. It is so hot here, so hot, and the dogs are just miserable. So they go outside for 5 minutes, and then they come in and they just nap because there's nothing else to do. It's just so hot for them. Sweet Zorro did have a moment, for all you Zorro fans out there. I took him out and he went out, and the mowers had come yesterday, and the grass has just been growing like crazy. So it was, there were clumps of grass, and he went out and grabbed one and went over and lay down and just chewed on it for a little bit. And I was like, buddy, can we come in? And he just literally like sprawled back, like he just couldn't hardly move. It was just too much for him to even stand up to come inside. So my husband had to go out there and roll him over and convince him that he could stand up and walk up the steps by himself. So I also did go back to Sassy Jacks last weekend. Yes, last weekend. Went and met my friend Pam. Rebecca went with me, and we just had a great time. I was on the Zoom last night, Kim, with Sassy Jacks. It's doing a 4th Friday Zoom. I don't know how long she's done it. A friend told me about it, but I missed it the last time. I had something going on. I couldn't do it, but last night, I was like, oh, I could jump on there for a little bit. So I jumped on there before we went and ate some dinner, and it was fun. It was a good time. So it's nice that she does that. So it was nice to see some new faces, and a familiar face too. All right, so let's just talk about what I got in front of me, and then when I'm out of stuff, then the video will be over. Okay. I don't think I told any lies last time. I don't remember, so I may have or may not have, so we'll just see. I do have a couple finishes to show you. I have some progress on some stuff. Of course, I have haul because that's what I do. I have one quilting project that I worked on just a little bit, so that'll be a 2-second section of quilting this time, and I may, just depending on how long that takes, I may grab my stack of Immediate Radar and see if either I can entice you into starting something, or you can entice me into actually starting some of the stuff that's in my Immediate Radar. I did show some stuff in the last video, and I had a friend reach out. She was like, hey, let's start this. So I'm working on gathering the stuff. So I do need to calm down a little bit because there's something that I really want coming out soon. There's been teases in Quilting World that I really want. So even if I say I'm going to try to behave, I'm probably not, but I really do want this thing when it comes out. So we'll just see, but we'll talk about that later when it comes out, because I'm sure I'll buy it. All right, so let me start first. I want to show you some Stitchy kindness, because I have Stitchy kindness this week. I had some friends in my local Stitchy group went to it was a, what did they call it? Stitch and, I want to say Stitch and Thrift, but I don't think that's right. But anyway, it was just a weekend of going and stitching, and then people were, you know, selling off stuff in their stash. So it was kind of like a de-stash stitching weekend. And they sent us pictures in the group, and they just had a great time, and they had great stories to tell when they came back. So it was really fun. Two stitching times ago, or maybe three, one time since I saw you, that we had such a big crowd on our Tuesday night stitch, and it was so much fun, and it just made my heart happy. But so they said that every time they got up, they would get up to stretch, and somebody at the table would be like, oh, we should go shopping since we're up. So they would go back over to the tables and shop. And one of my friends excuse me, she got me this, and she was like, I couldn't help it because it was just screaming you. So you know how I am here recently about a sow. I love me a sow, and this just tickled me to no end. This is probably one of my favorite things. I just love it. Love it, love it. So thank you, friend, for that nice gift. And then, so I had mentioned that Jim and I were talking about starting this chart, and a sweet friend gifted me the chart. I mean, oh, is that not beautiful? Beautiful, beautiful. I don't know what the stitch count is. Let's see. Oh, there's another little, oh, there's a nice little, oh, I didn't even look in here yet. In my mind, it was just the one pattern, but there are other things in here too. And I guess I knew that when I watched Teresa's video, but I just didn't remember it per se. Hold on while I find the stitch count. It's right here. This is 268 by 286. Oh, it's so pretty. I love Teresa Kogut. Have you seen her video for the Biscornu book? I will be buying that. I've been looking, I have a friend in my Stitchy group that brought a Biscornu once she was finishing it. I think it was going to be maybe her smalls gift for a retreat she was going to, but it was gorgeous. And I was like, ever since then, I've just been like, every time somebody has one, I'm like, oh, I want to do one, but I can't find one that like screams Laurel. And then Teresa came out with this book, so I will have that book. But so Jim, are we starting this? Me and Jim, we're real good at starting stuff together. Not so much about finishing stuff together. Me and Jim, we love starting some stuff. Okay, so that was my Stitchy kindness. So thank you to my friends for just being the best ever, and the sweetest people on the planet. So, oh, I was going to skip on to haul. I actually stitched some stuff. So let's talk about what I got finished. I finished 2 things. And when I say finish, It's not really a finish, but it is a finish at the same time. So last time I showed you this chart, Summer Trio, that several of us in my local Stitchy group are stitching together. I started with the house, and I showed this last time, and I was able to all but finish it. I just need to do the flower doomajiggers. So I got some beads, but in my mind, I really want to do teeny tiny buttons. So I found some teeny tiny buttons, but I'm not 100% sure if if they're tiny enough. So I have beads or I have buttons, and one day I'll decide and finish that off. But I did change the color of the house to the called for, I think it's number 22, DMC. But I love it. I love how it turned out. I think it's really pretty. Some of the girls have finished all of them. Rebecca, she did this one on 28 count over 1. Is that right, Rebecca? Gorgeous. Oh my goodness, gorgeous. A lot of them have finished this one. Some of them may have done all 3. But I am for sure going to do this one because I have enough of this linen for those that'll match. And then I'll see how I feel about Hello Summer. But these are fun to stitch. I love these little blocks right here. They were super fun. And this was fun. Oh, pretty. And that was so fun to do with everybody. We had a couple Zooms. And we'll probably Zoom some more on those, but that was fun. It was fun. The next thing I did, so in my book of days, in the very beginning of my book, I have kind of by year, I transfer over to the next book what projects I have and by the year. So I have a group that is just from this line up are projects from before 2023. And then right here is 23 to 24. Well, this is 24, it's big. And then my 25 is on the very back. But I wanted to not really commit, but kind of have a goal to, you know, finish one from this group and then maybe this group or this group, you know what I mean, to get some of my older stuff. I'm not necessarily going to go back to my oldest whip, but I do like how Karen, the recovering monogamous stitcher, and I think, who else is doing that? Sarah Stitchy Spot is doing it. I feel like somebody else is, where they take their, Karen uses her oldest whip. Sarah just picks an older whip and they work on it 7 days every month. So I was like, I need to do something similar to that to knock some of these out. But I thought I would start with ones that were close to a finish. And in my mind, I only had a couple pieces that were on Ada. And I said, I should just go ahead and finish off the ones that are on Ada. Because I don't necessarily gravitate to Ada right now. But that doesn't mean I won't do something on Ada. But I was like, let me just get those knocked out. When I got counting, I have way more than a couple. But my next to the oldest whip, my oldest whip is Pandemic, which is on Ada. And I didn't want to make that like a focus. I've tried to make that a focus a couple times and it just fizzles off. But the next one was Christmas Boxes, which I finished this year. Disturb Us Lord is another Ada piece. And it's pretty big and I just wasn't really feeling that. So then the next one was Serendipity. This was a free pattern by Fat Quarter Shop. I started it, like bought all the stuff, started the first week when they started that week, and I put the chart up so I don't remember. Maybe it was like 20 or 21. And I was like, I'm never going to finish this. But I didn't want to just give up on it because it's pretty. I like it. So I decided to just finish the next row. I had the top row was done. This row was, I don't know, maybe a third done. And I had maybe 1 star, something like that. And I was like, you know what? I'll just finish those rows and then I can make it into a small. Because I love the colors. It looks really good on this Ada. This is, I don't even remember. It used to have a sticker. But, and on camera, that looks really good. That makes me go, oh, I should finish it. But no, it's just going to linger and linger and linger. And if I was to do it, like I could start it again later, but this Ada is really stiff. And I don't know, there's something about the combination of this particular piece of Ada and the Weeks Dye Works, which was the called for floss, was just giving me a fit. And it's over 2, and I think if I was going to do it, I might do it over 1. I did do the quilt that goes with this also. I didn't order the kit from Fat Quarter Shop, but some friends and I did it as a quilt along, and I just pulled colors from my stash. It's hanging over there on my rack. I can see it. It's just not quilted yet. So this will be some kind of small finish. I don't know what yet. I got pillows everywhere up here. Like, I got to quit with the pillows. So I might take it to Hobby Lobby and just see if I can find, some kind of piece. I mean, it would even be pretty like this on something. I don't know. We'll see. But that was fun to get that finished and just have something knocked off my list. And then the next thing I worked on is, now I did work like a teeny tiny little bit. I started the perforated paper piece with Pam. It's a patriotic angel. But I literally have 2 lines in, so I wasn't going to bother you with that. I also put in a handful of stitches on Lady of the Flag, which I'm loving working on, loving. But this one was really calling to me. A little bit of spring, and I had said this is the one I want to keep in my rotation until it's done, is my hope. This was a sow that me and Jim started. Hey, Jim. I love this so much. I love it. Now, I have found that if I stick with something for a few days, like normally I'll stitch on something 3 or 4 days, then I'll switch to something else. But this one, I'll stitch on it 3 or 4 days, and then I'll have a day where I'm like, oh, I'm really tired of working on this. But if I get through that day, then I'm like invested and I'm in and I'm like ready to work on it. So I did work on this a fair bit. And I mean, there's still quite a bit to go, but I am happy with the progress I got on it. I don't remember the linen. I'm sure it's in a bag, and I'm sure I've said it before, but this is where I am. So let's see, what did I do? I finished the alphabet up in this area. Did the bird, the flower. I filled in, there's some little buds all along these flowers. I filled those in. I did this row, this whole row, finished this row, and I did these little doodads. And then I did a little bit of the green up here for the flowers. So you can tell I've been working on a long time. Look how wrinkled it is. But it's so pretty. Oh, I love it. Love it. And I love this linen. It's a very good, it's not white, because me and white, we're not really best friends. I have a piece on white, but I have a couple of pieces, and you don't see them very often because something about the starkness of it. But this is a very good light that makes me happy. So I will, that's part of my plans, to continue working on that one. And then, what else did I do? Oh, this was just the bag that was in. I do have another blackbird piece in there that I started with some friends that may be coming up as a focus. And then, because, sorry for the crinkling, because I was so like focused on that, I was like, Laurel, like, eventually you're gonna do a video and you got to have something else to show people besides that one piece. So I did go back and work some on Salute to Abigail. The more I look at this book, the more I want to do everything in it. So I'm doing Salute to Abigail. I bought the book because of this one, which is one of the smaller ones in there. Have I done it? Nope, sure haven't. This one has never really called to me until this year, and now I'm like, oh, I'm like dreaming about it. I'm just dreaming about it. Oh, I mean, man, that's pretty. It's pretty. I don't know why I felt like I need to show you that other picture. It's the same as the picture on the front. Here's the bigger picture of Salute to Abigail. Now this is not giant. I don't know why it took me so long to get going on this, because it's really not humongous. So I did a little bit more of the border on this. I finished the little flower, worked on the big flower, did the flag, the bird, a few more letters. So I did the flag all last night while we were zooming. So it really goes pretty fast. The vine is a little bit tedious, but not like tons and tons. But this is the bottom. Yeah, so all that's left down here is the urn, and then it starts the vine again. So it's only like yay big. And the flag is the last motif on this side, and then it'll have the viney. So again, it's not giant. It's not at all. And this is stitched on 36 count biscuit that I must have more of. I have got to get more of this because I love it. It's by Seraphim, and I just think it's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful color. Okay, move this out of the way. I'm sorry I keep shaking you. I'm in a different little corner, just because I felt like the light was a little bit better in this corner right at this moment of the day, and my reaching and stuff is off. All right, so I'm going to move on to my ambassador section, my cross stitch ambassador section, which is haul. All right, so I got my linen club pieces since I saw you last. Seraphim. This is called Fence. Look at that. It's like a really, really pale, like blue-gray. This would be so pretty with a patriotic piece on it. So pretty. I would love to know what your plans, patriotic stitching, is for this next year. If you have something special going on, if you have a big one you're doing. I went ahead and started Lady of the Flag with Brooke, so I kind of want to have a patriotic start for New Year's Day that's pretty big. So right now I'm probably thinking Land That I Love by Teresa Kogut, but there's a lot of time between now and New Year's Day, and I'm sure lots of other stuff will be coming out. And then I got my Be Stitch Me linen. Oh, I feel a sneeze coming. My Be Stitch Me linen came yesterday, or maybe day before, and I laughed out loud when I opened it. So this is the color, which is like a weedy beigey color, and the name of it is What the Hay. What the hay. So I say that on a daily basis. What the hay? Because I don't know if everybody says it, but you know, I'm Southern and we say stuff like that. And by the way, Tara, I've been watching everybody in the videos talk about how you say oil and soul, and I caught myself when I went over. I work at a dealership, and I had to go over to the service drive, and I was asking somebody, trying to ask something to the service advisor about somebody's oil change, and I paused, and I was like, oil oil, 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 oil. It's like an extra syllable. It's oil. But I was born in the north. I just picked up southern really fast. So I don't say orange. I say orange. But I do say oil. It's oil. With Tara. Then the green bean sampler. So Kim with Sassy Jacks. This is going to be her birthday start. It's kind of glary. I'm sorry. Take it out back. Krista and I are stitching it with her. Sorry, my dogs are going nuts. Somebody either here or walking in their yard. They don't like it when the neighbors walk in their own yard. It really upsets them. But Kim, Sassy Jacks Kim, Krista, Wildflower Stitcher, Pam, my friend Pam, who I've been trying to get to do a floss tube and she refuses to do it, but Pam is starting it. I think Rebecca is starting it also, my friend Rebecca. I feel like there's somebody else, but I don't remember. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people will because Kim picked it for a birthday start, but we're going to start this August 3rd. I think it's her birthday. I'm going to pull it out so you can see it. Yeah, that's better. So we went back to Sassy Jacks last weekend, like I said, and my goal for Sassy Jacks was to find a piece of linen for this. So we went, I had called the day before just to make sure they were going to be open because they had a virtual event, and she said, yeah, they were, staffed to handle both. So I went with the intention of getting a gray, because if you look down here at the bottom, it reads gray with all that green against it. But it actually, the color it's stitched on is colonial green. So Rebecca had a piece of, maybe it was light colonial green, and it was really, really bright. So while we were there, Pam and Kim picked out it just left me. Cypress by Fiber on a Whim to stitch on. I couldn't decide between two linens, so I bought Cypress and something else that I'll show you when I get to haul. But I think I'm going to use the something else. And when I got home and I was unpacking, I actually bought Cypress to do the chart that Krista and I had bought there. So I don't really want to start two right away on Cypress. I don't know when I'll start the other one, but you know how your mind goes through all those phases. But this is so pretty. Oh, Peter, oh for Pete's sake, is already stitching this. He'd been stitching on it for just a little bit. He is doing his on a beige color. I watched his video the other day and it is gorgeous. I thought I've missed a couple of his videos. I'm having this problem where people disappear in my subscriptions. And I am subscribed to a lot of people, but I get it if it's somebody you don't watch all the time, but I don't know. But I missed a couple of his. I need to go back and watch, but he's doing it and it's really, really pretty. So it's gorgeous on this. It's gorgeous on lighter color. It's just a gorgeous sampler. So got that. I had asked my friend to order these or this for me. So this is, I mean, it's been everywhere. Everybody's doing this because it's just amazing. It has all the things that make me happy. It's patriotic. It has the pretty flowers up here with a little detail. It has the Quaker. This is insanely beautiful. So when she ordered this one, she said, hey, do you like this one? Because I got it too. This is also by Screen Door. Screen Door Needleworks. It says Sweet Liberty. And I've said it a million times. I'm sure you're sick of me saying it, but I live in a town named Liberty, so anything that has liberty in it, I feel like I need things. All right, so that was all my non-Sassy Jacks haul. So now let's talk about Sassy Jacks haul. So I tried to do a little bit better and not go in there and act like a kid in a candy store, but I'm not sure that I really did. I had a couple things I wanted. The number one was the linen for that piece that I just talked about. So the other piece that I got, well, this is the cypress. So this is what a couple of the girls are using. Oops. Which will be gorgeous, right? It's pretty similar. It's like right there it reads kind of gray, but it's probably more that color in reality. But beautiful, right? Now, I'm not saying I won't change my mind, but I really like this. This is Seaweed by Fox and Rabbit. I really like it. Now, there's no part of this that reads gray, like how this down here reads gray. But I love it. I love it. I think the letters will pop really good on it. So I really think I'm going to wind up going this way. This is one of the colors. I knew I didn't have this one. This is Blooming Crocus. This is one of the colors that I knew I didn't have. So this is the only one I got there because I'll be able to get floss between now and then, at least enough to start it. And a lot of it, I mean, it has a DMC conversion, so if I don't have the DMC, I gotta have something close. But I will have to change some of these greens down here, I'm sure, because we laid them on the linens, and some of them are a little clashy with what I picked. But oh, I'm so excited to start that. I'm so glad that I don't even know how we were discussing that while we were there, but it makes me very happy. Okay, so then I had also, before we went back, I'd watched Kim's latest floss tube. It was great. It was great. Like, she is just the most calming. I just love to listen to her talk. She's just very calm and very just, you know, and she just knows so much stuff, and she's just a super nice person, and that's all I can say. Something about Kim's. Kim's are just the nicest people. But anyway, she was talking about some stuff on her website, so I went on there and looked, because I've been on her website, but I haven't like looked through it in detail, and I found a couple of things I was like, oh, I must. So I saw this, and I was like, I need this. It's just little. It's 86 by 91. It's a heartstring samplery. This was on sale. I don't know how she runs her sales, how long they are. So I don't know if it still is or not, but if so, it's on the website. But heartstring samplery, Thou God Seest Me. But this would be like so quick to start, and it's just so cute. It's just a teeny tiny little house. I love the saying. I was like, it's just adorable. So I couldn't find the heartstring samplery section there because I was overloaded with all awesomeness in the store, and Pam was like, she had to like hold my hand and guide me to where it was. I think it was her. Might have been Rebecca, but one of them had to guide me to Laurel's right here. So as I was looking for this one that I needed, excuse me, I ran across this one. Now this is from 2019. I don't know that I've ever seen this one. It's called The Stitching Life. Well, it has the little scissors, has all the best things, right? And let me read to you what it says. I could use a little more stitching in my life. Now, if you remember from a while back, or I don't even know if I talked about it, but when we were at our friend's retreat, I had bought something, and I said to one of the girls, they said, what are you going to do with it? And I said, I don't know, but I needed it in my life. And I felt like I now needed this in my life. So, Jamie, I don't know if you watch this, but I miss you, and you might need this in your life. 150 by 223. And it's just a simple border, right? Just a little zigzag. I think that would go pretty fast. I haven't looked to see how many colors it takes yet, but oh, I love that. That might go in immediate radar pile. I don't know. This has been on my wish list for a while, but I haven't ever bought it just because I was like, I'm not going to start it right now, so there's no need to get it. And I don't know. It's a Jeanette Douglas, and I don't know if she retired her charts, but I feel like so far everything I've ever tried to get from her has been readily available. And then the Silver Needle had a trunk show retreat. They had something going on with Jeanette Douglas, and they were posting pictures like every day. And I was like, oh, why are you doing this to me? Why? So they had posted a picture, and I was like, I couldn't read what it said. I didn't see where it was labeled. So I text my friend. I was like, what is this? And it was Vintage Birds 2. So I was like, okay, I'm putting that on my wish list. But while I was there, just right there hanging, staring at me, was Vintage Flowers. So I was like, oh, because I want the original Vintage Birds, the new Vintage Birds too, and this one. Oh, I love this. I think Container Needleworker Kim has done this and the birds. I'm like 99% sure she did a version of both, because I think that's what made me put it on my list. But look at these. Look. Oh, it's so pretty. It takes Gentle Arts, Week Style Works, and Classic Color Works. Oh, look at that. I've never seen that. Look, guys, vintage stars. What? Oh, that's so pretty. Oh. I mean, I would change the colors, but oh. Okay. Obviously, I'm in my Jeanette Douglas buying phase right now. So I got that one. And then, I'm sorry, I know I'm a little chit-chatty. And then she has, so the Sassy Jacks shop is in an old house. And she said that she's working on getting the upstairs finished. She had talked about it in her video, some previous videos. And so the shop is just full of so much stuff. So she is trying to make some room for more stuff. And she had some charts on sale, some Hands Across the Sea charts. Really good sale. Really good sale. So if you go to the shop, go in and ask them what kind of sale they have on Hands Across the Sea, because you need to. So I got Martha James, 1844. Now this section down here does nothing for me. I love the border, and I love this. Look at that. Look at this rose. Look. So we were discussing this would make a really pretty drum. I haven't done a drum, but I want to. It's on my list. That would be a pretty drum. And even if you didn't, if you just did the border around that, I don't know, but oh. And this is okay. I mean, I'm not saying, but I'm sure that's over 1 words, and I don't know that my brain can handle that many over 1 words. And this is, like, these are cute down here. Little church, almost looks like a windmill, but I don't know. He's a little creepy. This person is creepy to me. But I don't like clowns. I don't know if I told you that. I don't like clowns. But anyway, love this. And I love that they do the little card in there. So I don't have a ton of Hands Across the Sea because they're, just to be honest, they're a little out of my price range. I mean, I will buy one if, like, I just love it. Speaking of, I saw a post this morning. Some people, another group starting Jane Hopkins. part is so pretty. So pretty. So I'm trying to not look too hard at that, but oh, it's so pretty. This one has been on my list for a while. I had 3 when I first discovered Hands Across the Sea. I wanted Anton Ufendale, which I have, and I have done about this much of it. Like a section that big. I've done one little flower. Isabel Ufendale, she's still on my wish list. And Eliza Knight. So when I saw that this was one of the ones on sale, I was like, oh my goodness. I love this. The only thing right at this moment that I think, if I was stitching it right this second, I don't think I would do this row. But I don't know. Because it's so it's very striking. If that was up there hanging on my wall. Right there. That'd look really good, wouldn't it? Oh. And then I'm not sure if we all got Hands Across the Sea while we were there. I can't remember because we were just all over the place. But I know Pam did get this one, I'm pretty sure, with me. Miss Mary Ann Lawrence, 1791. They have this hanging on the wall in the shop. Now this is a lot of stitching. This is a big girl. She's big. 333 by 386. Oh, look at that. Look. There's the flowers that I love right here. Oh. It's so pretty. So pretty. Okay. And then also, I like it. The girls in there are so nice. They're just so nice. But they ask you what size needles you use, and they give you, a couple needles for your charts. They gave us a pin, and she made sure, she's like, I don't want to put it in the bag because, I don't want it to get on your stitch. I mean, they were just so, so good. And then I got some Lady Dot Creates Storm Blue Rick Rack. I haven't really bought. I think this is like the second pack of Lady Dots I've bought. And I only really just noticed it because it was in the sale bin where she was making room. And this color right here is very, very close to, I don't know where I put it. The little pillow right there that I've shown before. It's very close to the blues in that. So I feel like this will go good with pretty much, I don't want to say any, but most blackbirds. It's very, very similar to the colors in that. So I was like, I feel certain I'll use that because I could use it on like a small blackbird. So that's all of my cross stitch ambassador section. So I'm gonna show you just a couple things of quilting, just a couple, and then I'm gonna go grab my immediate radar pile and see if it's anything that's in your immediate radar pile. So I just show you this. This is the bag I made for my friend this morning. I'm gonna make me one just like it because I love it. I did do the technique with the stitch witchery along the edges, and I do, you can tell this is a thicker bag. I've talked about it before. And then the inside is just a little light tone on tone that I had. But I made that for my friend, but I need to make me one now too. Or maybe this will be mine. Maybe I'll make the other one. This one has a couple mistakes on it. So, I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, I do love this process of using this. And I do like the stiffer bag. So, I thought about maybe doing some kind of tutorial, but I don't really know. There's like 100 bag tutorials out there. And I don't know that, I mean, mine has a couple things different as far as like products you use, but I don't know. But I do want to make some more. I have a whole, like a pile like this of fabric that I pulled out from my stash over here to work on some bags because I have so many ideas for bags in my brain, All right, now I have like 2 things of quilting, and then we're gonna go to the radar pile. So if you don't like quilting, like hit the little fast like twice, and you'll be at radar. Okay, so the only quilting, ow, oh, I stubbed my toe. The only quilting haul that I got since I've seen you last is I got another one of my kits from the Simple Whatnot. This is Sugar Shaker. That's so beautiful. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Kim Deal, beautiful, beautiful. And then the only thing I have worked on quilt-wise, I mean, other than like bags, I don't know if you consider that quilt-wise or not, but Tula Nova. This is by Tula Pink. She's made this multiple times. She just put out a new video too of her new studio. It's a quilter's dream. A quilter's dream. So I had a little moment. I have a bag partially done that I'm doing a kind of a grandmother's flower garden motif on, and that got me like wanting to get back into my English paper piece and get it back out and work on it. Every time I get the urge to work on that, I always go back and watch the videos that Tula has on Fat Quarter Shop. So if you go onto YouTube and you put in Tula Pink English paper piecing, those videos will come up. It's 3 videos. She's a genius. If you have any interest in doing paper piecing, or if you are doing paper piecing and you want to improve your skills, you need to go watch those videos because she's a genius. She gives the best tips ever. So I was at a standstill with this. I've shown it before, but I was just at a complete stop because I couldn't find a blue for my next round that matched the first blue that I used. And I was like, I've started this and I am never going to get it finished. But I'm getting closer. A friend of mine had a week-long quilters day camp at her house a couple weeks ago. Her husband was out of town on a trip and her kids were away at camp, and she opened up her home to all of us to come over and hang out. I only got to go one evening because, you know, that work thing just really like kills it, but you know, I need to be able to pay my bills, so you gotta work. But I had a good time the night that we went, but I just took this to work on. So I was able to finish my red row because my plan is to do the whole thing patriotic. So I finished my red row, and I will say, so the difference, so if you look right here, I don't know if you can see my thread, right? A little bit. I mean, if you look, right here, you can see threads a little bit. Right here, you can see threads a little bit. Then I went back and watched Tula Pink, and get the dog hair off. Look here. Look here. Why? Because Tula Pink is a genius. So I have this is in mid sew. So the next row is a bunch of stars, and they will have this blue triangle between, and that will go all the way around. So I probably won't show it again until I get that done. So who knows how long that could be. That could be a really long time before that happens. But that's all the quilting that I got done. I did pull out the panel to cut up to make my crochet bag. The panel's not going to work. So I came in here this morning while I was straightening up and pulled a few options, and now my whole process, I have to like rethink it, because I would like to use some of the fabric I have, but there's a couple pieces of fabric I have in my cart at Fat Quarter Shop that would be so dreamy for this as well. So I don't know. I mean, obviously I have fabric. I have bins under here full of fabric. I have some fabric I'm buying from a friend, this Kim Deal. I need no fabric, but I need it. All right, so hold on. I'm gonna get my stack of Immediate Radar. Okay. It's a big stack. Now, that does not mean that I'm going to start every one of these this week, but I love them enough that I'm not putting them right here in my semi-organized stash because I want to start them sooner rather than later. But we'll just see, because you know, time and all that. I pulled all the a most suitable name series out and had my husband pick one, and he picked Humble Hilda. So this will be the first of that series I start. I still have 2 left to get, and they had some of these at Sassy Jacks, but I didn't have my list of which 2 I didn't have. I'm an unprofessional shopper. This one, I've pulled this out a couple times, and it's just so sweet. It's little-ish, 107, 150. It's not giant, but I love what it says. This is by All Through the Night, and it says on it, use what talents you possess. The woods would be silent if no birds sang there except those that sang best. So I just love that, because I think it's important for people to understand that you don't have to be perfect in your craft, that you just have to enjoy it. That's what it's there for, is for enjoyment. And if you make a mistake, it's fine. It's okay. Nothing has to be perfect. But I think it's really sweet. And it calls for general arts. And I've got maybe a third of what they are, but I can convert that to DMC pretty easy, I feel like. But I love that. This is, when did this come out? It's older, I feel certain. I don't see a date. 2011. Older. I think I got this off 123 Stitches clearance site. Y'all probably sick of me showing this, talking about how I want to start it. But I do. It's so pretty. I'm on this Friends thing, and I love this. I can't really, I haven't seen a pink in just the like 1 or 2 places that I've been that I like. So I may try to dye something pink. I don't know. But I feel like this needs to be on pink. I like it on that pink. 176 by 67. I showed this last time or the time before. I don't know. I showed this recently. But I want to leave this out because it's just a sweet little red stitch, and it shouldn't take long. It's not giant. Lori Holt stitch cards. This is the only set of stitch cards I own, and I'd kind of forgotten about it until Sweet Lenny was talking, and she started showing her bowl of Happy, and I was like, oh, I need to get my stitch cards out. So those wouldn't take long, right? Not at all. I love the gnome. He's so cute. He's so cool. This is a Plum Street sampler, and again, I'm all about anything that has something to do with stitching and friends. I looked everywhere a little while ago for, there is a in the Circle of Friends group, there was a little stitch that was friendship, and it had yellow in it, and I was like, I need to get that out and see if Jim wants to stitch it, and I can't find it. I also cannot find my floss for Roberta, and Jan and I are stitching it. Humming of the Bees. It's all together on a ring, and I put it in a wrong bag somewhere, and I can't find it. So if anybody would like to come to my house and look and find that for me, I would greatly appreciate it. But a friend loveth. 88 by 61. I mean, that's just a couple nights of stitching right there. But isn't that sweet? It just says a lot. Me and my buddies. Margaret Meadows. Another Jeanette Douglas. I think I bought like 3 different pieces of fabric that I thought would be perfect for that. Tomato Hill. I keep almost putting this back away, and then somebody will show it. And again, little. This is not little, but I would like to start it. Krista, Wildflower Stitcher, is stitching this. MT, the butterfly sampler. Now, I wouldn't have been ooh-ah about this, but she had it with her. And oh my goodness, the colors are beautiful. And the grass right here, love it. Love that grass. This is also another one I've talked about for 100 years. Y'all are sick of hearing me talk about it. But it's got to get started. Got to get started. I will switch out. I have Lugana in there. I will definitely switch that out for a linen. Gifts of the Season. Will I be stitching that one? No, I will be stitching that one. Ooh. It's so funny because I saw a Instagram post the other day, and it was talking about the similarities between this original and, is it Sarah Bradshaw? I have to go back and look up the name again. I can't remember exactly which one it was, but it's a Northumberland sampler house chart that I have been looking at for a while, and I instantly gravitated to this one. This is the one I want to do on biscuit. This is a quilting, the only quilting immediate radar. Not immediate, not the only one, but the only one in my stack. Long may she wait. Little House Needleworks. A friend of mine at Stitchy Group stitched this, and I've been oohing and ahhing over it because she's been bringing it to Tuesday night, and she finished it, so she brought it to me. It's so cute. The houses are so little. This one, I think I showed it last time, maybe. It's a recent purchase, but it's little Plum Street. And you see why I'm not like saying I'm going to start all these, but these are just, I love them enough that I can't put them up. My friend Cindy, she bought this one too, and I was absolutely going to do this just like this in the like sepia looking, but then we were sitting there talking. She said I want to do it in color, so we looked up and oh, it's gorgeous in color. Patriotic Trio, I showed that last time. That's immediate radar. The house that I bought twice, that's immediate radar. Georgian floral basket. Oh my goodness, y'all. Oh. Stop it. Do you know what I just found? Here's my floss. Good job, guys. You came right to my house and found my floss. Now, why would it be in here? Or is, oh, it's not my floss. Oh, so excited. This is the floss for this other piece that's in here. Oh, man. I got so happy because I put it on a ring like that. And I think it is some of the same colors, but this is the colors for Berry Cottage. And I did decide I'm going to pull that green out and the sheep. Oh, man. Okay, y'all still have to come. You still have to come to my house and find it. This one, because I have all the floss, and I'm supposed to be stitching this for my daughter. She asked me like 6 months ago. And then this one, A Tender Father. I also showed this in the last video. It's the flowers I love. Jenny reached out, and I think we're going to stitch this together. I have to get my stuff together. So, tell me who you have been watching on FLOSSTUBE. I've been watching Making It with Michelle because we have so much in common. It's funny. She's showing stuff, and I'm like, well, I have that. I have that. I have that. Like I'm talking to her video. I didn't mention her before, I don't think, but when I was talking about mid-year whip parades, Lisa, Black Coffee and Grits, hers is amazing. If I mentioned it before, I don't care. I'm going to mention it again. You need to go watch it. She has one of Teresa Kogut's angels started. It's on the prettiest linen. It is so pretty. And I have one of those angels started, and it is not going well. But it's, after watching her, I'm like, I really need to get mine back out. I think the I don't want to say trick, but the trick to those is I think you need to stitch the face to really get in it. I think once the face is stitched, the rest of it will like be more enjoyable. So I'm gonna pull it back out at some point and work down to the face. Been watching all my regulars, Carol, Brendan, Laura, Red Velvet. I have a couple friends again, like I said, Pam, Rebecca. I don't know what you're waiting on. I need to get these floss tubes going. I told you I watched Peter, Sarah. I did the girl that I told you I was gonna finish watching and tell you about. I never got to finish watching her, but she had a new one pop up yesterday. So I'm going to see about watching that. But I obviously have a lot of stitching to knock out and get done. So we're going this evening over to my in-laws. It's my nephew's birthday, and he wants to have pizza. So we're all going over there. My grown nephew, he's not little, he's grown, but he wanted to spend his birthday with my in-laws, and it's just easier for them to order in. So we're gonna go over there with the fam and hang out together. So that's gonna be a lot of fun. Then I'm gonna come home and do some stitching. Is my plan. So I hope to be back in a couple weeks. I haven't really looked at the schedule to see what I got going on, but hopefully I can be back, 2 to 3 weeks, whatever. That's kind of what I aim for if you're new. And maybe I'll have some finishes. I got a couple things close. I don't know. We'll see. But thanks for coming. Thanks for spending a little time with me. I appreciate you hanging out, and I'll see you in a couple weeks. And until then, I hope you get lots of stitching, lots of quilting done. Bye, guys.